crazy how many teams had a chance to win. The Ripper GC went from 9 back to leading by 2 to near the cellar again late in the day. It was so volatile, counting 4 scores. It was pretty nuts, but you know, the cliques have been cellar dwellers for basically 2.5 seasons, and they come out victorious today. That's awesome.
It'll be the summer of the cliques, definitely. So, like I said, there's definitely more to come from us.
It was a magnificent ball striking performance.
Yeah, you know, I got to speak to someone in his camp before he teed off this morning, and they said to me that he is finally feeling extremely comfortable out here. He's not thinking about any swing thought. He's going out there, he's swinging so freely, and it certainly showed today. The way he drove the ball, the way he hit his irons, and even in his putting as well.
Yeah, and lives in Texas, went to school in Texas. His tour win on the PGA Tour was here in Houston, which is Texas, and now his first live win, Texas.
Honestly, it was just a matter of playing solid coming down the stretch. I think there was a switch there on 15 that I made birdie, he made bogey, and I just knew that I had to party in pretty much, and it was mine. The 18 I made bogey, but it worked. He played unbelievable, and he put pressure all the way to the end, and it was a good battle. I love playing here. Obviously, Texas treats me well. It's my adopted home state, so I'm just happy to get it.
Serves you right. And welcome in. Very happy Monday to you. Welcome into July. That's right. July 1st, 2024. It is InGame Live Prime Time here on the SportsGrid Network. I'm Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan, and we are also on day 2 of the NBA free agency craziness. And when I say crazy, we're talking crazy, including some breaking news out of Boston, as if we haven't heard enough from them over the last couple of months. We learned earlier today, of course, that not only was Derek White going to hang around for a couple of more years at the tune of $120+ million, we also learned the team is so profitable that the majority ownership is selling the team to somebody else. Not before we just learned that they have just now signed Jason Tatum to the most lucrative contract in the history of the NBA. 5 years. Max contract said to be worth $314 million, which also includes a player option on the final season. And also pretty much he's got everything that any player in the history of the game could ever possibly want in this deal, including surpassing his teammate, who prior to this deal, Dave, was in fact the most lucrative contract in the NBA to that point, with $304 million for one Mr. Brown. But now it is Jason Tatum, and it looks like, I'll be damned if the Celtics ain't all in on milking this for as much as they can over the next couple of years, because at some point, I think the ownership group here figured, this is going to come, somebody's going to have to write this check when it's all said and done. You can't have a payroll of over $200 million next year without there being some sort of penalty somewhere down the road here. But Jason Tatum, worth the money, Dave? Not like they had a choice, but worth the money?
Way above my pay grade, but to the point of where you go, okay, we're going to get the house. We're going to remodel the whole thing. We're going to make it the nicest house on the block. In fact, it's going to be its own block, essentially, by winning the championship. So there's only one. We're going to load it up We're going to get the best stuff. Then we're going to hang a for sale sign on it. I can't believe the timing. They just did the parade, and they just signed these guys. Hey, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. We got everybody locked up for you. Have no fear. They're young. They're superstars. The city loves them. The tickets are going to be sold. Don't worry about it. It just seemed odd to me that you get to this point, right? You go through the proverbial pipe like Andy Dufresne did, and you go through and you crawl through and you throw up and you lose in the NBA Finals. And then you go through and you go through. You lose a coach because of some scandalous stuff, and you get a new guy. And you get all the way to the end, and you get out, and you're free. And now we can reap the rewards of the whole thing and go, we got the best team in the East. We got the best team in the league for sale. It's just I couldn't believe it. I saw it this morning, and I went, now how in the hell do you justify this? I don't know.
It's, they always say, right? What's the old adage? Buy low and sell high. And I can't imagine a higher point in the market for this franchise than right now. And I also believe that the way the new collective bargaining agreement has been structured, that is also scaring a lot of teams, which is why we're seeing an awful lot of other teams kind of cut bait with very, very big superstar players like Paul George, for instance, that will, in fact, no longer be an LA Clipper because they didn't want to pay him. Why? Well, because that new collective bargaining agreement pretty much buries teams that go all in and overpay for superstars, and they don't want any super teams anymore, Dave, is what it appears like. And if you do put it together, then it's going to be very difficult for you to rebuild that team once that all goes away. The penalties are astronomical. But Boston figures, hey, we're going to give 125 plus to Derek White. We're going to sign him up. We've got Brown already locked up. We've got Tatum locked up. Porzingis is already under contract for another 2 years anyway. So what could possibly go wrong? They got Kolek in the draft. I mean, we got all sorts of things going on here between the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics, Dave, that you got to love it, because call me crazy. I think the league is much better when Boston is as good as they are now. The Knicks are willing to spend and push all their chips in, and we already know what the moves that they have made. They also had a killer draft. I mean, call me crazy, but having Boston and the Knicks battling next year, and then when you look at the West and go, all right, Clippers, bye-bye, no need to talk about you anymore. But hello, OKC. Hello, Dallas, who also welcomed a new face to that trio, now a trio. Klay Thompson is a Dallas Maverick, Dave? Can you believe that? That's going to be weird.
No, I don't want to say it's the official end. I mean, they're breaking it up. They're breaking up the band, Golden State. I mean, people were talking about Klay retiring. Instead, he got $50 million right in 3 years from Dallas to hang out on the wing, come off the bench, and knock down threes. That's great. I used to say that baseball free agency was the best, the hot stove, and who
no way.
The NBA has definitely taken it over for headlines. And it's the middle of the summer. You got a couple weeks, and everybody's going to be here in Las Vegas at the Summer League, which, again, they'll be talking about Bronny being here and playing and all these other things. I love this part of it, where numbers actually move. Now, I don't know if I would agree that, do you make the Sixers lower odds than the Knicks? Yeah, there's books that did to win the Eastern Conference. Now what you see is Milwaukee there is the fourth choice, and then everybody else. I mean, Cleveland went from being a darling to, having a chance to out. Those numbers after that, you even see Orlando. Like, Orlando was a really good basketball team, but they're so far away just within their own conference that there's betting options out there. They're high prices, but they're not going to get you to the window. So, fun times, fun day. Even when you look
all
at the
legendary franchises, all
Look at
legendary
this.
franchises in the East. I
The
mean, crazy.
Sixers
Look at us.
number went
Mm.
to the second choice. Is that actually right, Joe? Is that
Yeah,
right?
of course. Well, of course. Well, listen, we heard that they were all in. Maxey was going to get his deal. He did 200 and what? To another 100 and something crazy $1 million that Maxey was getting. They locked him up. Paul George wanted a 4-year guaranteed deal. The Clippers, that's why he didn't go back there, because the Clippers didn't want to pay it because they know they're going to be in for it in a couple of years. They let him walk, and the Sixers gave him $212 million on a 4-year deal. So now you got Maxey, you got Embiid, you've got Paul George. It seems like a big three to me there. You got a big three in the Knicks. You got a big three in the Sixers. You've got the up-and-coming Orlando Magic. Yeah, I mean, the East.
Tobias Harris, right? Tobias Harris got money to go to the Pistons. 2 years.
Yes.
What? 2 years at $52 million? Joe, I should have worked on my
Do
jump
you
shot.
realize this man? Do you realize this man has now, with this deal in his career, made over $300 million? Tobias Harris has made over $300 million in his career with this new deal. And we're just getting started, by the way. The craziness, we haven't even dove into the craziness of the NBA free agency. Come back and join us here in-game live prime time. We're just getting warmed up here on the grid.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on the Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The Early Line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live primetime here on this July 1st. Happy Monday. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan here as we've got All-Star break coming up here in Major League Baseball. You might be wondering why there are only 3 games on the slate here today, one of which is already finished up as Houston has now won 10 of their last 11 games. They beat Toronto earlier today again. Let's not forget, I think Blanco was when he threw his no-hitter early in the season. That was against Toronto. And outside of a couple of solo home runs in the last couple of games, I'm fairly certain Toronto's having a hard time hitting anything that the Houston Astros throw their way. But Houston has certainly turned it around. Another 3-1 win here today. Two great comeback wins against the Mets over the weekend to finish it up. Won that series. And just like that, the Astros are really looking forward to going into this break and then making a push for a very winnable American League West coming up after the break. But we got a lot of traveling happening coming up here, Dave, which is why we've got a loaded slate coming up here for the 4th of July. A lot of teams they got to fly to where they're going to fly because nobody's off the 4th of July. It falls on a Thursday this week, which is usually a travel day. So what they've done is they basically front-loaded everything. So today was the travel day for teams, and Thursday expect absolute craziness on the 4th of July. The Mets are on right now, and shocker, they're not scoring any runs, but Grimace is in the stands. I don't know why he's in D.C., but the Nats are up 2-0 here, top of the 6th inning. And we do have, and who doesn't love Austin Gomber in a late game here tonight coming up as the Colorado Rockies will be center stage against the Milwaukee Brewers, I believe. And this was interesting, too. I know a lot of guys were backing Wilson this morning for the Brewers, and then it came in late morning. I guess they decided they're going to go with an opener first. And then Wilson will come in after that. But, anybody that had listed, I guess, Dave, that ticket blow it up because it's no longer valid, right? And now that they're going with an opener, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, an interesting thing about the opener for the Brewers is I think he has 11 letters in his name and there's only one vowel.
Oh.
There's only one
correct.
vowel. I don't know how to say it. The guy that begins with the letter Z is starting.
Yep.
Zastrini something. I don't know. If anybody knows how to pronounce it, tweet at me at SportsBK with the phonetic spelling because I don't know how to do it. Looks too easy. I got to be honest. The Brewers number looks way too easy. The Rockies have been so bad. They had one of the worst months in all of baseball in the month of June. And the current numbers like minus 135. There's some minus 140s. One book is as high as minus 150. So surprised the smart move projection was only 58%. I thought it would be a little bit higher. Yeah, this feels like Milwaukee and over for the late night. Maybe that's what we want or need. Do you ever do that where you kind of like you want it to be the only game on and I want it to be entertaining? So you're like kind of like, well, I should go over. You could talk yourself into like what you want with the bet so easy when there's only one game.
It's 11.5 the total, so I know it should be what they're telling you is that it should be entertaining from a run perspective here. The wind is blowing out at Coors tonight, which is interesting. But quite honestly, if I'm Colorado and they just came off of that road trip where they were 1-4, I did game time decisions yesterday morning here, Sunday morning, and when we were talking baseball, the one thing that stuck out to me, Dave, is I said, whoa, this has got to be a misprint. Are you telling me the White Sox are a $2.40 favorite at home over the you want me to lay 240 with the White Sox at home over Colorado? Yeah, no. That was an automatic play against there. And it turns out a 5-4, 14 innings turned out to be a pretty profitable play. But I don't know. Now I got a team coming home in the altitude that just played 14 innings 24 hours ago. Are we really do we trust Colorado to be able to contribute enough to get this thing over?
No. I don't think so. No, that's the problem, right? Like, I don't know. It's a really hard spot. Great job with the graphics, boys. That looked really good. I don't know. Just sit and watch. Maybe we'll have a play. If this goes down, I'd feel a lot better about going over 9.5. If we can get through the first inning without a run, this thing will drop from 11.5. Seems like a bit excessive. So get a scoreless first inning. Both sides, and it goes down to 10.5, maybe even 9.5 quick, because you get a whole inning in a game with 11.5. Basically tells you there's going to be a run in each inning.
Yes.
Very likely that a run, whether it's the top or the bottom, not both teams to score, but somebody's going to score. There's going to be very few 0 top, 0 bottom innings. So if you can get one in the first, this thing's going to drop low, and then we could go over.
Yes. You got to love, Austin Gomber. If there's anybody that is happy it is July 1st, it's got to be Austin Gomber. Why is that? Well, he's now lost 5 straight starts in the month of June by 2 runs or more. The Rockies have a minus 20 run differential every time he starts in those games. They're basically 5-10 when he starts, with 9 losses of multiple runs here going back since the start of the season. And his last 5 starts, Dave, he's got nearly a 10 ERA. So I got to imagine this should be, listen, there are runs coming in this game, but the likelihood that they're coming from Milwaukee is much greater than they might be from Colorado. Just saying, those are some horrific numbers on a whole lot of levels. But I'm all for 15 to 12 game. I got no problem with that. We'll be able to run through a couple of interesting in-game bets if that happens. But we do have an update with the Mets and the Nats. Plus, NBA free agency continues. George Kurt stops by. We got a lot going on. In-game live primetime continues on the grid.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on the Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live primetime here on this Monday. Welcome in. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan. Grimace has driven in a run, apparently, Dave. It is now 2-1 Nats. We got 2 outs here, top of the 6th inning. This is actually turning out to be a pretty good game. Peterson started for the Mets. He went 5, 6 hits, 2 earned. He only had 1 walk, gave up a couple of strikeouts, or struck out a couple of Nats. They don't strike out an awful lot. Gore just got replaced, 5 2/3. He had 8 strikeouts. I don't know what his K prop was, But my goodness, that would have, I'm pretty sure it wasn't 8.5. But he lit him up here tonight. But he does have a runner on first, which will be charged to him with 2 outs. So 2-1 here. Were you leaning one way or the other in this game here? It felt like the Nats, I feels like the Mets are coming back down to reality after a crazy June. And it didn't go well this weekend against Houston. Didn't think this would carry over going well against Washington tonight either. What were you thinking?
Yeah, Washington for a side. I really thought over for the total. But I've been riding the Mets for a couple of weeks. They've been pretty good. Second best record month of June of all teams in baseball. So, and scoring runs. So,
yes.
It was a slight lean to Washington today, and only because I got it from the valet guy down at the joint today. He's like, "Oh, Washington." I said, "Okay." I didn't really want to watch it. One of those games, Joe. One of these days, like today, is just such a slow day. I feel like every single play that would be made would be forced, other than Houston this morning. Houston this morning. In Vegas, it was 11:30, almost noon start, whatever. That was the game I liked the best today. So that's done. Are you paying any attention
they've won
to this?
10 of 11, dude.
Are you watching the soccer? Are you doing anything with this?
Well, that's coming up at the top of next hours. The Mets have just tied it after a absolutely brutal boot by the shortstop for Washington, who looks like he's actually never actually fielded a ball here. But there's 2 games coming up actually at the top of the hour. I believe U.S. and Uruguay in a must-win spot. And then we've got Bolivia and Panama, the team that actually, beat the U.S. team, which is a problem, and forced the U.S. now in a must-win situation against one of the best teams in the tournament here, Dave. I mean, Uruguay is not a team that that I feel is probably you want to be going against just to be able to make it to the round of 16. But that's where they're at because they couldn't beat Panama. They should have beat Panama. But I'm wondering if any players will get thrown out the first 15 minutes for the USA team here tonight, like they were good enough to do against Panama, which is pretty much why they ended up losing. We saw, I believe, France ended up winning earlier today. So the heavy hitters in both the Copa and the Euro are making way. Can the U.S. take that next step here on the international stage and handle business? Kansas City, I think, is where this game is tonight, Dave. Does that sound about right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not positive. I'm not positive. I
think it's there. That's why it's
one
at 9.
Of those situations. So years ago, when we had the World Cup, they let all of us pick a jersey to wear that we would wear for our shifts. And Uruguay has an absolute gorgeous baby blue. I don't know if it's home road. I don't know when they wear the white, when they wear the blue. But I have a Uruguay jersey, and I was going to wear it today on the show, and I'd have been like, enemy number 1. This is one of those situations because the book needs whatever teams play in the U.S. People come in and just bet the U.S. They bet the U.S. And I didn't want to be that guy that came on today in the Uruguay shirt. But I don't know, Joe. Everything I've talked to, this is like a real uphill battle. This is going to take – I don't want to say it's going to take Uruguay playing their worst, but I don't know if the USA in their best is going to be enough to get –
Is good enough.
It is good enough to get the cash. But the graphics look great.
They're a +7. They are a +7 goal differential, Uruguay, so far in Copa. So that means not only are they scoring, but they're limiting everybody that they've come in contact with. So the U.S., there is no doubt about it. It's must win, which leads me to, I think, an over for some unnecessary chances. We'll have more on this game coming up, though. In-game live, primetime continues.
technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The Early Line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back we're in game live and we are prime time and it is July 1st. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I believe that puts us right around the 45, 50 day mark for football. Just telling you, it's T-minus 45, 50 days. College football, the NFL will be very much a big part of our life. But between now and then, we got to get through an all-star break here in Major League Baseball. We also have another major on the PGA Tour, the Open Championship. Oh, yeah, and the Olympics will be here also in Paris. So there is a lot to happen over these next couple of months before we dive into football. But we do have a couple of baseball games currently underway, and our good friend George Kurtz stepping in here. And he is ready to go. You do a lot of Olympic betting, do you, Kurtz? When it gets here, are you a big Olympic bettor on little curling? I see you're more of a curling kind of guy. Is that somewhere around that? Yeah, right. Oh no, this is where we get to do the lip sync thing. This is fun. This is George Kurtz. Yes. Put him on the screen, and we'll try to. Yes, I do. I love curling.
Maybe some
I
slalom.
love curling.
Some slalom.
Oh, there he is.
Can I do slalom?
Oh, there's
for you?
slalom.
Isn't curling in the winter, by the way? Curling is
A
a winter.
winter.
Oh, what's
right?
the difference?
Joe, if you're going to get it right, get it right. It's a summer Olympics.
Hey, joke's on you. I just did a little curling in the kitchen last week with a couple of Swiffers. It worked fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's always a good time to do a little
Curling looks like it
curling
would be fun to
in-house
play.
here.
It looks like it would be fun to play. I mean,
I wouldn't have.
I know these guys are drinking. How are they not, falling on doing a face plant on the ice? I can certainly see that. But curling looks like it would be fun to play.
That's good.
I like the Winter Olympics. I like the Winter Olympics because you got to lose those idiots going down on their backs and that thing going 1,000 miles an hour. The bobsled's fun.
I agree.
I've always wondered during the ski jump, remember the old wide world of sports, the agony of the feet when the guy's up. How do you feel when you do a ski jump and you're up about here and you realize, oh no, I'm not coming down on my skis.
No.
I mean, that's got to be an awful feeling.
Wipeouts.
Right?
Yes. Best wipeouts.
Not cool at all.
Best
The Summer
wipeouts.
Olympics, I don't know what are we liking? Basketball. But outside of basketball, seriously, do you guys like something in the Summer Olympics where I'm going to watch this?
Isn't there baseball? Am I losing or isn't baseball? No, it's
I'd watch
it's
softball.
the following one.
softball out.
There is softball.
Softball's not coming back
Softball's out
until
too?
LA. Yeah, softball's
Till
out
LA.
until it's coming back. So that's the hard part. They take sports out, they put sports in. But the regular ones, like the track and field's impossible to make numbers on. You can't make numbers. Everybody watches the track and field. The gymnastics, everybody watches that. You can't really make numbers on that. I mean, what do you do? Make numbers on archery, decathlon? I don't know.
Even know how to
Maybe
score
there are markets for this stuff, but
like, how do you even score it? Like, that's the whole thing. I think the medal count is just the best way to go when you bet the Olympics. Is just bet the medal count. Who will finish? Right, Dave? I think it's first, second, third. Right? How many golds? How many silver? Like, that's the way to bet the Olympics, and then just root, because trying to figure out how to score anything in the Olympics with some of these sports is, like, how do you score a shot put? Like, how does that work out exactly, Kurtz? See you as a shot putter back in the day there. Yeah. Oh, no, don't. Listen, I need Advil just watching you do that. What did you think of this game here tonight, Kurtz, with Grimace? Because they just took the lead 3-2. So the Mets are on top. Were you favoring them here tonight with this? Because Dave and I were both leaning Washington here before the night started.
Yeah, I'll make that a trio. I was on Washington as well. I am on Washington as well here. I mean, listen, Mets coped that excruciating loss yesterday. Their bullpen is in tatters, right? So we still got a shot here. Maybe Washington can get to the bullpen here. Mackenzie Gore's a decent starter for the Nationals. So I thought all signs pointed there. Nemo out of the lineup tonight as well. So, yeah, I'm on the Nationals in this game, and so far, not working out.
Ugh, disgusting. Terrible.
We did a little bit of a discussion about baseball futures, and what Ohtani's doing for the Dodgers is just incredible. But I was down and about today. Who's the second best team in the National League right now? I mean, the obvious answer is the Phillies, but they got a couple injuries. Is there anyone right after there, George, for the pennant odds and stuff that you got to start to really go, you know what? They can actually do it in the playoffs. Is it the Braves? Is it the Brewers? Is it the Padres? Dare I say it's the Mets? Anyone on that list below the first two that you think can win a series and actually get to the NLCS?
I think the Dodgers and Phillies are on a collision course, all right? But the Phillies are beat up. I mean, Realmuto's out too. We sort of forget about him, but he's out as well. Yep. No Realmuto, no Harper, no Schwarber. I mean, wow. And Turner just came back. They've been walloped by injuries this year. If we're looking for the third best team, I think that team will declare itself in about 4 weeks at the trade deadline. Who's going to go for it? I don't think it's Milwaukee. They've had a fantastic season. Good for them, but that pitching staff is not good at all. So I can't give it to them. Mets, no. Their pitching staff's terrible, too. So you're probably looking at the West here. And I think probably San Diego, because they will. We know that. They're going to make a big move. They're going to add something. I don't know what it'll be. They go back to the White Sox. We hear the White Sox are going to trade Crochet now. So maybe the Padres go back to that well here. I don't know if they have enough prospects left to get people. I think Baltimore's going to get Crochet personally. But I'm going to say the third best team is the Padres over the Braves, only because I don't know what the Braves are going to do. Right? They need outfield help and pitching help. So Padres, Braves, I'll take one of those two. Those will be my 3-4. That being said, I think they're a far 3-4.
What did you, by the way, everyone was all excited here tonight. The rookie phenom, James Woods, who you can thank the Padres for that one there, made his debut tonight. I think one of two. Look at some of these props, though. Come on. I mean, he was going to hit a home run in his first. This kid is a monster, though, here. And they are expecting pretty big things here, Kurtz, from him. Does he stay up? Is this a one-time thing, do you think? Or they could certainly use him if they plan on making a run for the wild card, no?
Bingo, right? This is what they're hoping for, that he can really carry them there. They need the offense. This guy you said he's a monster. He's a freak. Another guy who's a freak. Another Aaron Judge-like guy. Big, athletic, center fielder. So is he going to come up and do well? Listen, we all thought Jackson Holliday would, right? Number one prospect, uber prospect, and he didn't do well in his first stint with the Orioles. Doesn't mean anything. Mike Trout was sent back down at first. We sort of forget that. But he wasn't very good right away either. They sent him back down, and then he became Mike Trout. Same thing could happen. We don't know. That's the bottom line. We don't know. It's not a hitter's ballpark, so he's not going to get anything cheap. He's going to have to earn it. I hope he does what I like when top prospects come up. I am rooting for him. All right, I'm a fantasy player as well, and I grab them in a couple of leagues here, so I'm definitely rooting for him. But there's also so much hype and pressure on. Come on, this is a kid, and everyone's expecting him to hit 40 home runs from here on out. Right? That's what's going to be expected of him. Let's see how he handles the pressure. But more importantly, even if he does well, let's see how he handles the adjustments the second time around the league.
Yep, that's the second time adjustments. That's a perfect lead into this transition question. The Reds are coming to town to see your Yankees, and the Yankees got a little bit of a pitching. There's a little bit of a starting pitching kind of question mark things going on. Heel tomorrow. You see the number? This is excessive. This is almost 2-1. They're minus 180, 185. My high's minus 190. Reds live tomorrow. Any shot? Or are you all about the Yankees tomorrow?
No, the Reds are live because you already said it. We don't know what Heel's going to be. All right. Is he hitting a wall? His last start versus the Mets, he looked tentative. Like he wasn't loose and just letting it go. He looked like he was almost trying to aim the ball sometimes, and he didn't look like himself there. So, yeah, I think the Reds are live tomorrow. And the Yankees, one day they're good, one day they're bad. Good, bad, good, bad. So I think there's going to be a run scored tomorrow. So I might look at the over more than anything else, and I think Aaron Judge is going to be live for another home run.
All right, good stuff. By the way, congratulations on your Rockies play tonight. I know it must have killed you to take plus money there because I know for sure you'll never play the Rockies ever in a million years. So, too chalky, you going to Brewers? Yes or no here, Kurtz? No,
I'm on the Brewers. Brewers in the over.
Oh, we already know you're going to Brewers.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on the Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, Prime Time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I almost passed out.
Feelings mutual. Welcome back in InGame Live, and we are prime time here. Welcome to July 1st, and off and running, just a 3-game slate today in Major League Baseball because the 4th of July is on a Thursday this week. We're going to have a loaded slate of baseball games. That's usually a getaway day, travel day, but most teams tonight, except for those that might have pulled the small straw here, Dave, had to play today, including Houston, who beat Toronto for their 10th win, I believe, in 11 games. They are rolling right now. The Mets have a couple of runners on. They're threatening again. They're up 3-2 in the top of the 7th inning against the Nats, and they just got underway, I believe, in Coors Field, and nothing there. But the Rockies taking the Brewers. Austin Gomber on the mound. There is just no way I can't take the Brewers team total over, Dave, which I think is maybe the best way to look at this game, given the fact that the wind is blowing out. We got a total of 11.5, although you brought up a good point. If we can get out of the first inning with no runs, does this thing drop to 9.5?
10.5 for sure.
Or do I need 2 runs?
10.5 for sure. We might have to get to the top half of the 2nd inning, still scoreless, to get to 9.5. But I feel much more comfortable with a single-digit number and just having to get 10 rather than having to get 12. At 10 and 11,
I agree.
It's like a craps table a little bit. You know, the 10 and 11 are big numbers, and there's too many combinations that could get there. So gives me a little bit of pause. But I still think there's going to be runs. I mean, sometimes it looks so easy again, where you're just like, yeah, that game's going over, and then the book
going to be a 1-0
on 11.5, and you're like, I don't know what's going over that. Like, you know. So you were talking about fireworks.
Be 1-0.
Are you a fireworks guy? Do you like to watch fireworks in person? I love fireworks, Joe.
Yeah.
I love fireworks.
I like actually lighting them off. I'm more of the
you like the blow stuff.
You know, I'll back I'm like the JPP of the neighborhood. Like, I'll back up the U-Haul truck. But I won't. I'll just pay somebody to light them, more or less than that. I don't want nothing to do with that. Yeah. And I got a bunch of fireman friends that live in the neighborhood, so we usually let them handle it, except they lit it on the wrong side, and we had to dive for cover last year, and we burned down a couple of palm trees. But other than that, Dave, it's very exciting. It's a good time in the neighborhood here. So what is the deal in Vegas? Do you have fireworks stores? Are they legal in Vegas?
They're everywhere. They pop up last week.
They do.
Good. So fireworks are legal, and then you get the good stuff at other places, and
right.
It's going to be 115 this week. The weather advisory starts tomorrow, where for the next 5 days the high is 115, and could be as low as 112 maybe. So it's going to be really, really hot, excessive heat, and the fireworks start within the neighborhoods. The dog starts to go crazy because there's M80s going off and things like that. But we're going to see the Aviators game. Every year our family does it. The tradition is on either the 3rd or the 4th, however the schedule falls, we go to fireworks night here. So the kids love it. It'll be hot, but they do a fantastic. I love watching fireworks at a ballpark. I don't know what it is. Something about it's really cool the way they blast the music and within the ballpark, and then watching the fireworks like in Vegas, it's over right field. So you have the field underneath, all the lights are out. I don't know what it is. I was in Curacao. I've been in Phoenix. I grew up in Pittsburgh. Fireworks over the river is great. Fireworks over a lake is awesome. Fireworks over the ocean is probably not bad. But fireworks over a ballpark is the absolute best.
Yeah, when they synchronize it to the music, it's I mean, it's kind of cool. Yeah, so it really is. But this time of year is awesome. You can go down to the beach and just spend take a chair, go sit on the beach and just watch as the sky lights up over the water. It's kind of amazing. But there's actual physical stores here, and guys have been stocking up on fireworks since about March. So it's Mortarfest USA down in Florida. It gets absolutely out of control here, but it's one of it's one of the better holidays. And it's funny that you just said that. I mean, last year they had at the minor league park here where the Astros and the Nats, they share a park. Roger Dean is where the Cardinals and the Marlins game. And they always go all out, and they sell the places out at the minor league games, and, the families come out, and they just go, it's unbelievable right after the ball game. So Yeah, and I would anticipate it's going to be just exciting this year because there is nothing like going to the ballpark, waiting for the game over, and then watching the show get lit up after that.
It's a must too. Like here, the girls tease me. They're like, "Daddy, can you please bet the under?" Because one year we went at the old ballpark downtown.
And it took forever.
It was 113. The final score was like 16-14. The fireworks didn't start until forever. Like they were tired, and they got hungry again because you feed them before, and you try to go to the ballpark and just make sure they stay hydrated. But they're like, last year it was so funny. My oldest goes, "What's the over under?" And I said it's 11.5. And she's like, "Well, can we bet under at least?" And I said, "I don't know, Kai. The wind's blowing like crazy." And the game stayed under, so we got to the fireworks sooner. But it's funny how you can use the gambling information to know,
of course,
how the game's going to go and time out the rest of your night, especially on fireworks night.
Yes. And some of the players are like, "Listen, man, let's just get to the fireworks. I'm ready to have a drink. Let's get out of here. Let's hurry up, swing. Let's keep this game going." The ump too is like, "Can we get this going? I got somewhere I have to be." We've got still a 3-2 game. Nats coming up, bottom of the seventh. The Phenom, your opportunity to see him. This kid James Woods here, one of the best players in the country in the minor league system. The Nats called him up. He's coming up this inning, bottom of the seventh. We'll see if he can't get it going for the Nats here tonight. There are some serious Nats and James Woods haters in my ear right now, but we'll have more for you when In-Game Live Primetime continues on the Grid.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back In-Game Live, and we are primetime here on this Monday. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan as we're keeping an eye on the Mets and Nats right now, and it looks like we've got still a 3-2 Mets lead. Mets were down 2-0 early in this one. They have battled back. They've got a 3-2 lead thanks to a couple of terrible plays by the defense of the Nats here. But the big question is going to be the Mets bullpen, who are still without the services of their closer, Edwin Diaz because of some sticky stuff issues there. So this has been a hobbled Mets bullpen here, Dave. And the last couple of days, Saturday and Sunday, didn't do anything to help them because they've had to throw a lot of guys and in games and try and make up the difference. And tonight, you got to hope that they are able to hold on at this point if you're backing them. We also are waiting for the fireworks, speaking of which, in Colorado. The problem is, Dave, we're at the end of one, and I don't see any fireworks, but I do see a 10.5. So we're thinking if we can get an out or two here in the top of the second, we should be 9.5. We should be good then.
Yep.
That's what I'm waiting for.
10.5 is now even money to the under. So an out, maybe 2 outs. It'll drive the price to minus 125, 130, and then it'll flip it to 9.5. So there we got to, already have a better number than the close. We got a scoreless first inning, so that's good. Wow, the catcher for the Mets just got a foul tip. Boy, that job is the hardest job, man, in sports. That is. I don't know even how he's going to stay in the game. He's going to stay in the game too, but man, they just get foul tipped after foul tip. The Nats keep hitting into double plays. I'm so impressed with the Mets middle infield between. I don't even know the guy's name is playing second base tonight, but he's made 3 plays. Him and Lindor turned 3 double plays that I've seen in 7 innings. They keep taking the Nationals out of runners in scoring position. So
this is
it's not looking good if you have the over. We're going to need extras. We're going to need extras to get to the over.
What was the pregame over? 8.5 or 7.5?
Yeah, this closed 8.
8. Okay.
Half the book's 8.5. Half the book's 8. So
I don't hate it. No, I don't hate it. I've seen 7.5. And I don't mind it. 7.5. What are you seeing?
I got a 6.5 here. Hello.
Okay. Yeah, that's one swing of the bat. We can be okay here, though, on either side. So I like that over 6.5. We are 9.5, by the way, in game. Brewers and Rockies. We got 2 outs in the top of the second. Time to jump in. Show bet over 9.5 with the Rockies and the Brewers. I can assure you this will not be a 1-0 no-hitter game as the wind is blowing out at Coors Field. I think we're going to be good to go there. We are also getting ready for the United States, USA. No better way to spend your night here on July 4th week than rooting the USA team on in the Copa America. And they are getting ready to start, I believe, here in just a couple of minutes. It is in Kansas City, in fact. And the United States is in one of these spots where they kind of shot themselves in the foot last game out against Panama. And now they are, because they lost that game, they're in a situation where they have to beat one of the best teams and the favorites coming into this tournament in Uruguay. Which means to me, Dave, that they are, knowing there is no tomorrow, there's not going to be anything conservative, I think, about the way the U.S. plays here tonight. They're going to have to commit a whole lot of guys on that side of the pitch in order to try to get, a couple of guy advantages, which is going to leave them very susceptible to, Uruguay being able to do what they do, which is score and score a lot here. So 2.5 at plus money was what the number was earlier today. I'm rooting for goals, and I hope USA gets them, but I'm good on over 2.5. I think maybe that's not a bad way to go because everyone I've talked to is betting Uruguay tonight, which is upsetting. You too?
Well, again, anybody that's betting soccer on the regular is probably betting Uruguay. A lot of casual novice bettors will be betting USA because, I don't want to go against, my country, and I get all that. But a lot of times you just need to get to the window. So, I don't know. You said there's going to be elbows, fisticuffs, yellow cards. I can't wait to watch.
Goals. Let's go. Goals. Another hour coming up. In-game live prime time.
technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, Prime Time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live prime time here, off and running for another hour as we've got a couple of Major League Baseball games going on right now. The Mets and that bullpen are going to do their best to try to hold off and get the win here tonight. They're up 3-2 over Washington. We still have no score in the bottom of the second inning, Milwaukee and Colorado. That is your late game here tonight. In-game number 9.5. Dave and I jumped on that last hour. That's exactly what we were hoping for. Closed at 11.5, but a couple of innings of no runs will drop that, Dave, and give you a much better number. And let's face it, it's Colorado, it's Austin Gomber. There are runs that are going to happen here in this game. We also have soccer, the Copa America getting ready to go. In fact, two games. I also believe in the same group there is the USA getting ready to take on Uruguay. Bolivia is going to be taking on Panama, the team that beat the U.S. last time out. Both of those games getting ready to get underway, so we're going to keep you posted in both of those. And the big news here, Dave, all day long, actually over the last 48 hours, is that it is the NBA free agency period, day number 2. And you need like a scoreboard to figure out what's going on, because there are guys wearing new jerseys, very well-known guys that are going to be wearing new jerseys to next season, and maybe none bigger than the Klay Thompson trade, signing with the Dallas Mavericks earlier today. We learned that it does look like it might have been snagged. There were some reports a couple hours ago that it wasn't done yet, but it appears a couple of second-round picks going to the Warriors, and in return, Klay Thompson is going to be with Kyrie and Luka next year. And I don't know about you, Dave, but I would look to bet whatever the prop is on his points or threes made for the season. He will have plenty of wide open looks with Kyrie and Luka on the court. He is going to have an opportunity maybe to set records with 3-point shots, because nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to be on him. I love the move for Dallas. It's just unfortunate that era is now, I don't know. You gave $100 million to Draymond for an extension. Why, I have no idea. But the reality is, Golden State Warriors era has officially come to a close. I think that's fair to say. No?
Yeah, as we know it. Yep, no question. There's no good way to end these things, and there's always usually it's one or two guys left when everybody else kind of goes. And now the NBA is becoming, the big three type thing where they want three guys to be a part of it. And it was pretty simple. They said, Clay, you're not part of it right now. You're move on. I hope he makes the shots that he has open, because he is going to have open shots in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
There was some problems knocking those things down this last year in Golden State. But I don't know, Joe. It's wild because baseball used to be the free agency thing. I mean, and the NFL did a good job with it. The NHL is not. There's been a couple really interesting NHL signings in the past 24 hours. Are coming off the NHL draft here. It was Friday and Saturday at the Sphere. Which, by the way, did you see any of the video of the draft? Did you see what that Sphere looked like for the draft? That was crazy.
Yeah, it was what they were doing outside when when they were making the announcements of the picks and the way they lit it up outside, and it was just truly remarkable. The inside too was really cool, and they kept blowing that horn because everyone kept trading it, and which we kind of knew was going to happen because it wasn't the best of drafts. At least that's what most of the pundits were saying, that there was no. Eichel. There was no big, McDavid. There was none of those guys in this draft here. So, but it was amazing, and I'm sure that will not be the only host spot for a lot of drafts moving forward, because that was truly something to see, though, when it was going on. Because at one point, they just kept going to the drone shot outside when guys were making the picks. It was the coolest thing, just seeing that whole thing light up with the team and the player they picked was actually pretty cool here.
It was mesmerizing. It was mesmerizing.
It really was. It was better than the Barclays at the NBA. I mean, which was kind of, you got to ratchet it up here a little bit. And to your point, though, the headlines that have been grabbed over the last couple of days have been phenomenal. And it just, again, maybe the biggest team that we didn't know anything prior, except for the fact that they just won a championship. And we learned first thing this morning, the team's for sale, that the primary shareholder is like, yeah, this is great. Congrats. We got to, I'm out. So here we go. We're going to sell. We're going to go. And then after that, we learned, Derek White gets a $125+ million contract. Now Tatum was just signed to the most lucrative contract in the history of the NBA, $314 million, 5 years, with pretty much every stipulation that gives him, including, Dave, you ready for this number? His fifth-year option, if he chooses it, will be worth around $71 million. Let me repeat. If he opts in on that fifth year of this deal, it's worth roughly $71 million. And here's the kicker. You know who's due for an extension next season? That would be Luka. So maybe that's why what's-his-face sold the team and sold his interest, because where are you getting the money to pay Luka? If Tatum is 314, what are you going to pay Luka? What is that contract going to be in a year from now?
A very big number that is going to mess up everything else. It's getting to the point where, I mean, the money's completely unrelatable to
it's crazy
regular people and what you're doing, and then you go and you buy tickets for the games, and you used to feel like you could relate or you hear something about the play. Now it's totally different, and the amount of money is a lot. Ticket prices are going up, rights fees are going up. I don't understand it, and you'll have a lot of people tell you it's because of the gambling. I mean, it's in addition to the gambling. gambling isn't making it go up, but the gambling helps keep people engaged. So
correct.
I don't know, Joe. I'm waiting to see what happens tomorrow. You know, like,
so when do we get the first $500 million player, Dave? When do we get that? I mean, we all thought Harper was going to be that guy, right? Originally, then Judge comes in, but these guys, these are baseball numbers now. I mean, $300 million is Aaron Judge territory, Dave. I mean, that's what you're giving.
I was just going to say, is it a baseball player? I think it's a baseball player before it's a basketball player.
I think so too.
Yeah, I do. But the amount of money going up, I mean, you said Tatum's number for the last year. That's really hard to believe. That's a good union representation, good, healthy.
Although Ohtani got what, 700 million, I think.
Yeah.
But that's broken up over. That's like Bobby Bonilla. Like over the next 70 years, they're going to pay that. Like the NBA guys are getting paid most of this up front. It's like, here you go. Here you go. It's great. Thanks so very much for playing. And by the way, when Tobias Harris can sign with Detroit for $50 million and now have a $300 million career in contracts, Tobias Harris, then maybe you should forget football, guys. Forget football. Basketball is the way to go. Go to the NBA. That is where the money is. We'll have more on the NBA free agency when we get back. In-game live primetime.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on the Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't mishit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right? Same as Kurtz. All right, welcome back in-game live, and we are prime time on this first day of July. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan, and guess what just happened here? We've got an update at Coors Field. Major League Baseball, just 2 games underway here. The late game is Milwaukee and Colorado, and Dave and I were patiently awaiting maybe a couple of scoreless first 2 innings so that total in this game would drop under 11.5. We were hoping for 9.5. We got it, Dave. and Colorado was nice enough to immediately score a couple of runs here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Yes.
So 2-0 now. In-game number, I'm assuming back to at least 10.5, 11.5, somewhere in that ballpark now.
10.5 I got here.
Perfect.
So,
see,
juice minus 120 to the over. So that's going to fluctuate. We may be able to go back, but if we get another run, we're going back to the original number. So stay patient.
Yep.
We got the right number. We got the number we wanted, 9.5. That's
yep.
I got the soccer on. I got USA and Uruguay on. I'll keep an eye on that. USA had a nice cross, I believe, a set piece, and goalie made a save. They're grabbing each other's jerseys a lot. There's a lot of bumping and grinding. It's like rubbing is racing. For those of you that saw Days of Thunder, you know that reference. But they're all over each other. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I like soccer that is a little bit, edge to it. There's a little bit of physicality to this game so far, which I thought would mean more. Kevin has over 4.5 yellow cards in the game. Haven't seen one yet. We're 15 minutes in, so I don't know if that's going to happen.
The U.S. is going to be on their best behavior here, though. I mean, having be down to 10 guys. Oh no, there it is. It looks like we got our very first yellow card. As I believe USA and Uruguay, both players have taken each other out. And boy, this is going to be upsetting here. Speaking of the devil, could you imagine you get 2 yellow cards right here? You're halfway there, Kev. That's what you got rolling here right now. But you cannot have a situation where you even run the risk of getting a red card and getting thrown out. If you're Team USA, you guys got to be on your best behavior here. And by the way, there is no better acting. You know, the NBA made such a big deal with Harden and flopping, and, they were trying to do away with that. There is no more acting in any sport than what there is in soccer. The rolling around in pain and only to eventually get up 2 minutes later and run full sprint like nothing was wrong. The acting is over the top here in soccer. And you know what? I'm all for it because I think it's fantastic.
I think so. I don't like it, but they have to get some sort of. Well, I'm a hockey guy. I just you get a penalty, you get a penalty, but the drama added to it. Sometimes the official is really far away, like they're. So I get why they do it to get a free kick or to get a guy to get a yellow card. Now, I watched the replay there, and we got some cleats on the ankle, okay? You remember what it was like to catch a cleat on the ankle. I mean, there is some pain involved there, Joe. I mean, you wore metal cleats back in the day and slide into second base, and you clip the second baseman or the shortstop. You give them a little wake-up call that you're there, but that was a hard tackle. I'm going to use the right soccer words because I'm really not a soccer guy, but I like all the words that come out in the handicap now. The set piece, the hard tackle, still no score.
Yeah. I think everybody should have a set piece at some point in their life. I think that's I kind of like that idea, actually. What are you telling me? They don't have any tape? There must be so much tape on their ankles and shins, though. Here that what are they really? I mean, come on. I mean, what are they really? A lot of the screaming and the falling down like they've just been shot or beaten with a bat is just, come on, stop. Yeah. It is a little dramatic here.
Down.
So,
on elbows.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's a little dramatic for my taste. But no score. And we are about, 18 minutes into that? Yeah. So we also have, it looks like, top of the ninth, the Mets have 2 outs, and if they can't get a runner on, the bullpen is going to have to come in and once again try to keep it a tie score in the bottom of the ninth as the Nats knotted up 3 apiece here. So Francisco Lindor up at the plate here in the top of the ninth with 2 outs. Boy, this would be rough, because that means if the Mets can't hold on here, that would be 3 straight games in which they lost from teams coming from behind. And that would be in which they had leads and weren't able to do it. Yikes. Also, one of the other free agency that we did not talk about earlier, too, that we should mention there for you New York Knicks fans. Kind of feel bad Hartenstein's not going to be a New York Knick, but he's going to be with the Oklahoma City Thunder for the next couple of years. And I don't even, how in the world are you getting by those 2 twin towers there in OKC now with Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein? Those are going to be 2 absolute monster rim protectors going on there. OKC quietly, well, I don't know how quiet they are or how shocked anybody is, because I'm pretty sure they have 95 first-round picks from tanking over the last 10 years. But nonetheless, they, don't forget, if I'm not mistaken, they got from trading Paul George, right? From trading Paul George, they got SGA, right? They got him in the draft. But they also have now accumulated altogether 9 first-round picks.
Yeah.
That is just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, yes. Yeah. And that's the smart way. Trust the process, Dave, they say in Philly, right? Trust the process. And now you got Paul George. So you'll, again, have to trust the process. In-game live primetime continues on the grid.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on the Sunday look like shots on the Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live primetime here on the SportsGrid network. And here I am saying how dramatic these soccer players are when they hit the ground. But it does appear somebody is injured again from both teams right now. The United States taking on Uruguay in a must-win in the Copa America if they wish to advance. And this was supposed to be a pretty big tournament for Team USA, that they really thought this was the group that could kind of let everyone and announce themselves here to the rest of the world that they're a different team, much more experience, a lot more speed, new coach. This was supposed to be great. Then they lose to Panama last game, and now it's this is it. It's do or die spot for them. But we do have a couple of players down. Looks like they're bringing out a stretcher. There are guys warming up on the sidelines. So I would imagine. And listen, if they put him on a stretcher, Dave, and then he runs off and he's like, I'm all right, I'm good here. I swear I'm turning this thing off. But Panama did score. They're up 1-0 over Bolivia in the other side in the other game. But right now, it's still no score with what, about 25 minutes into it right now?
Yeah, we don't know what the injury time is going to be. But we're about 25 minutes into the game. And I didn't see it. I was over getting a drink, so I didn't see what happened, but this does not look good. I mean, everybody's around them, and they're going to get them off the field. It's one of those situations like when you're in the book and you're doing a game and you're just waiting for something. It's really hard, and you almost feel guilty. If you make a bet on over. Because you think there's going to be goals scored or something, but so they got the stretcher and they're taking them off the field. Now, does this affect your
precautionary?
Yeah.
It's pretty, because he is moving. He's got the thumbs up, so he is. They're just being precautious with it here. He has a neck brace on, so. We'll get an update in it, but he is one of the more suspected concussion, they're calling it here, Dave. So that we'll have to keep you posted. But there was a U.S. Player, too, that was also down on the ground, and this was right by the goalie of the USA team. But we'll let you know there. We do have also the Nats right now. Leadoff runner on second, and I believe number 8 hitter is up. One out, so the Nats have an opportunity here to go ahead and win this in walk-off fashion, but it looks like it's going to be a runner on third, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, and you know who that is on third base, right, who led off with the double? That would be James Woods. That would be the phenom rookie on second. And now going to be up to the number 9 hitter. Will he? Won't he? I know one thing. Blackman crushed the ball at Coors Field, Charlie Blackman, to give us a 3-0 lead on with Colorado, which means I would have to believe that in-game number is back to 11.5 now, at least here, Dave, and not the 9.5 that we have. Yes, 11.5?
11.5.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Right number. I love that.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yep.
Do we look at Milwaukee in game now? Because I would imagine down 3-0, this is probably not a bad time to look at them.
Let me hit refresh. 1.5. 1.5 down 3-0. Oh, they got guys on. Yes. Now's a good time to look at them. Yes.
Now's a good time, right? Base. Yes.
Nobody out. 1.5 is
love it.
minus 120. Wow, it's only plus 150. I just clicked refresh.
Yes.
So just try to get the bet in quick. The Mets and Nats are going to extras. If you had it under, I'd be really worried right now. If you had under 8.5, you had a really good bet. That was a dead under all game. But if they flash a total right now, you might want to go over. These things happen all the time. The extras are brutal. There's another guy down at the soccer. Boy, this is getting really nasty.
He was taken down, though, because the Uruguay player was beaten, and he just kind of took the USA player out. But hey, listen, we have got ourselves some games. We also have more updates from the NBA free agency you're not going to believe. Eric Lindquist will drop by. We'll talk to him about it as In-Game Live Primetime continues here on the Grid.
technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
InGame Live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in. It is InGame Live, and we are PrimeTime on this 1st of July. Joe Raineri alongside Dave Sharapan. We welcome in our good friend Eric Lindquist here to try to make heads or tails of what has been an absolute crazy 48 hours here in NBA free agency. We got a lot of, Eric, a lot of faces that are very familiar to teams. We've got a lot of guys that are going to be wearing new uniforms next year. Let's start with Boston, the champs, because we learned that congratulations, you won, and now the team's for sale. Then they go ahead and give $125+ million to Derek White, and now we just learned that Tatum is now going to be the highest paid player in NBA history, $314, 5 years, with every perk known to mankind. Not that he doesn't deserve it, because he certainly does. But my goodness here, I guess they're pushing all in here, the Celtics, which would explain some of the other moves we've seen today.
Yeah, when you win a championship, you should probably get paid if you're the elite players. It makes sense. But, I mean, when I saw 315 hit my phone for Jason Tatum, I dropped it for a second and had to process. I was like, carry the 5, over $60 million a year. That is just an absurd number to be looking at for Jason Tatum. Hey, he is very good. There's no doubt, but I can think of 3 off the top of my head that I'd rather start a franchise with. And do they make $60+ million a year yet? No, they do not. But Derek White, 4 years, 125, 126. He had been just an absolute analytics darling all season long. I think that this is a guy that you do want to lock up. You got to start thinking, though, well, Porzingis eventually again. You're going to have to start thinking Drew Holiday again. I mean, the fabric of this team is no doubt within Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So both of them getting paid the way they did, Brown last year, Tatum this year, that is no surprise. But this White contract, it kind of sets the standard. Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, anybody else that they feel like they want to add, these are going to be expensive pieces. And the cap, it's going to just keep rising a little bit, but not enough to justify getting another, like a 4th or a 5th guy to add to this team. It's just going to be a crazy situation for them to figure out.
Before we get to the baseball, we're going to mention who's the second best team in the East in the NBA. I mean, there's moves, the numbers moved where it was the Sixers. Like they just jumped the Knicks and the Bucks, and like really, just we were talking about it earlier, too big of a jump in your eyes, or the Knicks or the Bucks, or it's not the Magic. But who's the second best team in the Eastern Conference in the NBA?
If they're healthy, and I'm not sure what the next plan is, but Giannis Antetokounmpo is still a Milwaukee Buck, and Chris Middleton is still a Milwaukee Buck, and Damian Lillard is still a Milwaukee Buck. And those three alone, I think they're going to eventually, again, 1 year to figure it out. I talked about it the entire offseason. Kyrie and Luka were going to figure out a way to play basketball together. I think the same thing would apply if we didn't have Damian Lillard get dinged up, if we didn't have Giannis get hurt right before the postseason started occurring. For them to fall to fourth just because they didn't do anything shiny and new is a little bit of an overreaction to me. I do like the Paul George acquisition. I absolutely love the Mikal Bridges transaction. I think that he can be a phenomenal piece. He doesn't miss basketball games. Tom Thibodeau, he's living the dream right now, having Mikal Bridges on his basketball team. I got to think that it's still Milwaukee, though, at 2 if you made me pick today.
Well, it's no doubt they're much more competitive now after these signings, now that the dust is starting to clear. The West, though, Eric, seems like a totally different ball game here. You got Dallas, who was the West champs. They bring in Klay Thompson. Boy, is he going to have some wide open looks. But look at what OKC did with Hartenstein now. Now you're going to have Chet and Hartenstein. I mean, they look built a lot like what Boston is. Who's the best team in the West then, in your opinion?
Under the best team. This Isaiah Hartenstein acquisition is so it shores up problems that they had. Rebounding, specifically defensive rebounding, keeping teams off of the glass was priority number 1 in the offseason for the Thunder, and they address it in a very, very big way. Also, 98th percentile offensive rebound rate for Isaiah Hartenstein, 14.8% defensively, 22.4% defensive rebound rate. He can give you defensive tenacity, 99th percentile defender in my model. Absolutely love everything that they did by signing up Isaiah Hartenstein and let Chet Holmgren roam a little bit on the perimeter. Let him do a little bit of spot-up shooting. He's not going to get blocked by anybody. He's a tall dude out there on the perimeter living his life. Porzingis can get his shot off whenever he wants it. Same thing will happen here for Chet. Let Hartenstein do the dirty work for you. You have playmakers everywhere else on the floor. No need to address anything besides what they did, and that is defensive rebounding.
All right, stand up and let everybody know you can, if you want, of how good of a night you're having on the baseball diamond tonight. But I got to ask you, because we talked to you about the Minnesota Timberwolves all leading up to the playoffs and them not being in. And the Minnesota sports and different things. Bigger surprise, I need some Midwest point of view, Midwest love, whatever it is. Minnesota Twins tomorrow are home dogs to the Detroit Tigers and Scooble pitching, or Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel's in the major leagues again for Milwaukee. How is this? You're a baseball guy paying attention. Like, that got to be the easiest bet on the board tomorrow, is it not?
Went complete on my show today. Just got done recording. I'm a big fan of the Colorado team total ladder, potentially. I'm going to be looking at everything. I don't see how you don't have a single positive bet on the Colorado. Like, I'm going to have multiple Colorado shares. I just don't know entirely what they're going to be yet. Need to get some more numbers, but I'm so with you. The guy hasn't had lower than like a 5 expected ERA in his previous 3 seasons. He's got nearly, 14 expected ERA in that first start. He is a soft-tossing, 36-year-old lefty with nothing left in the tank. He's been dust for 3 years, and to dust he shall return. A Colorado team that isn't even all that pursuit against lefties here, sitting around a 90 WRC+. I still do not care. There's no way I will not be invested against Dallas Keuchel. Very excited to see where books decide to drop a couple of these numbers, because I can tell you one thing. It's going to be one-sided action from me.
Yes, it is.
Let me ask you a serious question here, if I can, Eric. You're the manager, okay? And it's either Dallas Keuchel or Patrick Corbin that you need to win a Game 7. Who are you throwing out there? Yes. That is disgusting. Look at that. It's so...
It locked him up. He was so excited to answer.
It was so disgusting. He froze. Wait a minute. He froze. It was so gross of a question. He actually froze there for a minute there, David. I feel terrible. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry I did that to you.
It's okay. No, you bring up Patrick Corbin and bad things happen, but it's even worse when you bring up Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel is a problem, friends. He must be ridded from the major leagues at this point in time. I apologize to his family if they're watching. I'm sure he's a lovely guy and everything, but Dallas Keuchel shouldn't be out there, should not be rolling out again today or on Tuesday. This is just as targetable as it gets.
I agree 100%.
The White Sox.
Yeah.
The White Sox just played and won a couple games. Is that a play against tomorrow? Because I'm looking at it, and Carrasco's been the guy you go against when Cleveland's when he's pitching for Cleveland. But he's minus $2. That might be the biggest number he's been in a decade.
Yeah, one of the bigger numbers, but also Chris Flexen sitting north of a 5 xFIP on the season doesn't really strike my fancy. I don't think anything we saw early going with him was going to sustain. Does have a 4.47 expected ERA, but the power for lefties playing way up in Progressive Field this season, something that constantly just, it's crazy to me. So definitely want to be firing up something there. Give me some J-Ram, give me some Josh Naylor. Seems like a decent spot for hitting to those lefties going up against Flexen.
Sounds like we've got a couple of prime spots to fade a few guys there tomorrow. Eric, we appreciate it. As always, my man. Listen, cash the rest of these tickets here tonight. We'll talk to you again during the week. In-game live primetime continues here on the grid.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on the Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Yep. All right, welcome back in-game live, and we're primetime here, and so are the New York Mets. And wow, what a difference an inning makes. 3-3 headed to extra innings. Unfortunately, the Nats got a runner on second, their phenom rookie. First game up here, Mr. Woods. Led off the inning with a double, but he was not able to score the winning run and end this game. Instead, it went to the top of the 10th, and the Mets have now scored 6 runs off of 2 home runs, and they head into the bottom of the 10th, Dave, with a 9-3 lead, the Mets. All of this after you told folks here on the show that if you have an under, you need to be sweating and reconsidering what's going on here. And wow, 9-3 heading into the bottom of the 10th.
Extra innings changes everything the way the setup is now. You can handicap a game perfectly, have it nailed to the under. It's 8.5 was the closing total. You have it 3-3. And you figure, okay, maybe 1, maybe 2, and it'll still stay under. That rules out the window now. Like, you got to just play the in-game over. As soon as you get to even remotely, I think the possibility of an under or possibility of extra innings, you got to look to play the over. So 6, you explode for 6 in the top half of the inning. We may not be done yet. This is one of the hardest things to do is to make the number for extra innings. So the Mets train keeps rolling. They get 6. It's 9-3. Have you checked the Brewers and the Rockies score? Things are just about right there. 3-3 end of 4. And we got a 0-0 first inning. They go down.
And a ton of runners already left on base for both teams. Every time I look up, there's runners all over the base paths in this game. So that is going to be a whole lot of fun. But it was great because we waited to get the 9.5 from the over. We took the 1.5 plus 1.5 Milwaukee down 3-0. It's now 3-3. Good things here. I don't think we have a score still in the Copa America with with USA versus Uruguay. Is that still 0-0?
Still 0-0. There's 5 minutes of injury time, which I felt like was a little bit light. Usually with as many guys that are down and the stretcher and the this and the that, they're playing 5 minutes of injury time. So we'll see how that goes, but that looks like a dead under. And that's a hockey game. I mean, these two are battling each other physically as much as the shots on goal and things like that. Before I forget,
Team USA had some goal opportunities here.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they had a couple of breakaways that were, oh my goodness, and a couple of guys lay down. So I'm also seeing, Dave, what are the chances of a tie in this one? Plus 150. Does this end 0-0? And do we get extra things at plus money? It feels like that's a possibility the way these two are playing.
The soccer betting, you have to be very, very careful because it's a 90-minute result, 90 minutes plus injury time, whatever that is. So yesterday, England won, but they won, to advance or whatever that is. And it was one of the hardest things we had to explain in the book at the counter for years. Soccer wagering, be careful if you're watching the show and you wager, be careful whether it's a 3-way or a 2-way or to advance, different things. Make sure you get the right thing. Before I forget, did you look at either WNBA game tonight? Sun
coming
Mercury,
up at 10 o'clock.
Coming up here. Or Wing Storm. Either one, anything for you? Either side?
Yeah, under for me in the Sun and Mercury game there. So I do think defense is going to be at a high here in this one here. And the Sun are not playing, by the way. What have they lost? 3 of the last 4. But they do have they got a pretty good rest advantage here, though. I don't think they've played in 3 or 4 days. So fresh legs, going to make life a little difficult here. I think scoring is going to be at a premium here.
Phoenix played, was it yesterday? Didn't Phoenix play the Fever? I think they played the Indiana Fever in Phoenix. So, home dog. I don't know. I like your total. Yeah. Tomorrow night.
Well, they won 70-47. Wasn't that the blowout game? The Sun beat Phoenix earlier. in the year, and it was embarrassing because it was almost by 40 points, I think, 70-47. Yeah, it was embarrassing. And they haven't gotten to 160 points in 6 of their last 7. So, yeah, give me the under here and the dog.
Okay.
I love where you're looking there.
Indiana comes here to Vegas tomorrow. Big ticket in town. Big ticket. And I was exploring the opportunity of going. And then, I don't know, Joe, like I want to see Caitlin Clark in person. I want to take the kids. And anyone that has daughters, I think, wants to see Caitlin Clark in person. You know, it gives them something to shoot for, something just to look at as far as having a goal in mind. And watching her play is great. But the line tomorrow is 14. Vegas is favored by 14 and totals 175.
What's the price of that ticket, Dave? What's the price of the tickets there?
I think we can get in. K-Dub said if we sat up high, about 150 a piece, I think. 150. So I'm looking at 750 for 5 tickets.
In a million years. In a million years. You could have, for 150, took a family of 8 and sat courtside a year ago. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. And they moved it to T-Mobile.
You got to be kidding.
They moved it to T-Mobile. So there's going to be 20,000 there tomorrow night.
Wow.
Pretty surprising.
That's just unbelievable. $150 a ticket to sit up top at T-Mobile because they're going to, in a million years, I never thought we'd be having this conversation. Unbelievable here, but that's, let's face it, that's what she has brought the attention, and of course, attention comes money, and that's exactly what she's bringing to the table. All right, we'll close it out. In-game live, prime time. We'll close the hour out next here on the grid.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Oh, never turn off the Mets game, even if you think it's an easy win. Welcome back in-game live, and we are prime time here. Getting ready to give way. Coming up, the Sports Rage. Cam Stewart will take over for you here as Dave and I we'll bid you farewell, but not before we watch the Mets make every Met fan sweat it out here, Dave. 9-4, second and third right now, bottom of the 10th inning, and the rookie phenom is two batters away from having a chance to come up and maybe tie this game up. So lot to go on, but again, this Mets bullpen, we talked about it earlier, they've gotten a lot of work, and they don't have Diaz available to them because of the suspension. Nothing is going to come easy, it feels like here, is it?
No. I'll pull your line.
No.
No.
Not.
No.
Nope.
No. I don't want anything to do with this. I moved on. We got to the halftime of the soccer game, still 0-0. We got to keep an eye on that. I'll let you guys all sweat out this Mets. This is too much. No. I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah. Oh, this is not. You thought you were out of it, and everything.
Yeah.
6 runs.
Just pulling you back in, man. Pulling you back in. Yeah.
Just got you right back. Yeah. Just got you right back.
The Mets have a set piece, apparently.
How about that?
It's they
hard tackle.
They can't.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
good. Yeah. That's nice.
Yep.
Cross.
That's good stuff.
Cross. Right. Listen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got to
love a good
put
set
that on
piece.
the checklist for the rest of the week. How many times will you hear
Yes.
the set piece and the what else?
Oh yes.
Cards, cross,
yellow cards, corner kicks, corners.
Kicks,
how many corners
kicks,
are you gonna have?
Big,
Yep.
big.
Yep. Big bet.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh.
You had asked
boy.
Kurtz earlier about the Olympics. What's your Summer Olympics go to? What's your thing that, like, every 4 years Summer Olympics comes up? What do you have to watch? Like, is it archery? Is it the 4x100 relay? What's the one thing that Joe Raineri says, I got to make sure I see this time around?
I got a set piece in the Olympics. Yeah, it's great. The answer is anything but the Olympics, Dave. I love when it comes around every 4 years because I don't watch a lick of it. Not interested in one way, shape, form, or the other. I got enough going on trying to get ready. You know what I really do? I mean, that's the time where I'll dive in to college football and the NFL and get ready because as soon as that's done, you know what it'll be there. So, you know what turned me off on it? The last couple, if I'm not mistaken, we're in such winter and so we're in such weird time zones that, like, the events had already happened, but they didn't play them until, they were replays and everyone already knew what happened in the thing. So it kind of ruined it for me. Right? Same thing.
Yeah.
Even this is going to be, 6 hours? 6 hours ahead?
Yeah, it's so hard now. But and you got to stay awake. And out west, it's 3 hours more behind, so it's all messed up. But there's a couple things, like I'm a secret, like I like to watch the pole vault. I find that fascinating how they get the pole in and get so high.
Oh yes,
the triple jump.
Yes,
the triple jump is always one of those strange things where they do those big steps and then big jumps. I like that.
Isn't breakdancing an event this year?
No, I don't think it made the list.
No,
no, I'm not sure. We'll have.
Then I'd watch.
It might be in L.A.
Then I'd watch.
They might bring that back for. They might bring that back for L.A.
I think that would be fantastic. The golf should be interesting.
The golf, maybe.
The golf would be
synchronized swimming.
With
the music and the feet and the up and the down and all that stuff. I'm
looking forward to a 42-year-old Simone Biles. I mean, she's still there, I believe.
How
is she not?
No
idea.
You want to talk about? I mean, they were getting younger and younger, and she's still doing it. And
yes, they were showing her. They were showing girls on this team now who were like 6 years old, idolizing. Idolizing Simone Biles, and now they're on the team with her. It's unbelievable, and it's going to be must-watch television. You know it's going to be when the gymnastics is on.
I like the diving too. I wish there was a guy to do the triple Lundy, like Rodney did back in the day. The
Greg Louganis. Just Make sure you don't get the board this time. Yeah, that'll be great. All right, Sports Rage, Cam Stewart coming up. Ow, watch the head. Now that hurts. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. In-game live, prime time. Good luck tonight. We'll see you soon.
Go Nats.